The use of non-toxic traps and natural alternative ways has always been an important part of pest and disease control. If control of a pest, weed, or disease can be achieved without recourse to synthetic chemicals, it will be the best course of action. Non-chemical methods for pest and disease control must be widespread. For us to control and avoid economic damage to crops and to other living organisms, it is advised to rely on substances of plants and animals, nets, barriers as preventive measures of pest and weed control. We need to follow non-integrated farm management system because there are lots of useful insects and organisms present in the environment. There are natural enemies of creatures in the farm to balance the ecosystem, and we need to have full knowledge about that. If we just focused on crop production and use chemical substances, there are lots of useful insects and creatures in the farm that will be destroyed. That's why we need to stop or even lessen the use of synthetic pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides for us to reduce the harm in our environment. For pest control in organic farming, it is achieved by using appropriate cropping techniques, biological control, and natural pesticides which are mainly extracted from plant or animal origin. In weed control management, the main problem for organic growers can be managed through cultural practices including mechanical cultivation, mulching, and flaming. Sometimes, it's just easy to write down and talk about solutions in pest and weed control in organic farming. But the reality is, it needs to have more efforts, time, and patience. In pest management, it is largely depend on ecological processes and biodiversity in agro-ecosystem. This kind of methods must have a regular monitoring, and that is really true. Farmers must do regular inspection and monitoring or scouting of the field for crops and pests, including insects, pathogens, nematodes, and weeds, in order to determine their abundance and level of damage, so that farmers are able to identify specific solutions. Every one of us deserves to live because we all given lives in this world. Even the tiny creatures deserves to live as long as it has life. That's why non-chemical control of pest and weed control must be given an importance. Through these methods, we can have a balanced ecosystem. We need to remember that there are pests that is really useful, and even weeds are important because they help cultivate the soil. Therefore, instead of destroying, we have an option, and this is controlling.